Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. As I am still straining to talk, I've been sick the past couple of days with a sore throat and cold and achy and, you know, all the miserable stuff. Um, so, yeah. As you can hear, I'm still recovering. I feel like I sound pretty normal, but then, of course, when I go to talk on camera, I sound like I've never sounded before. So it's really great. It's really amazing. But I hope you all are doing much better. I hope you're having a great summer. I just realized I haven't had a vacation since May. I need a vacation. I'm hoping to do some family stuff in the beginning of August. That'd be great. And some vacation stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. Other than that, hope you all are good. And now they're saying we have monkeypox. I'm just, you know, I'm just here at this point. We're hoping. I'm hoping I don't get anything. But I mean, I keep getting sick, so. It's kind of like just a bunch of stuff going on. Oh, my jacket in the way. In my purse. Let me move some stuff. So then it's just you and I now. Just you and I now. Or you and whoever's watching this. If it's you and I, you, me, other people, whoever. More the merrier, obviously, for me. But today, I want to talk about a movie trilogy that I have been wanting to watch for a long time. As I sound like I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. Okay. I sound a little better. But at least my throat is not in so much pain, because I was like thinking I might not make a video this week because how my throat was, but I'm still tough and all. And I've definitely recorded while I was sick before and had a sore throat, so you push on. So yeah, I wanted to do this movie trilogy called Ginger Snaps, and so yeah, we're gonna talk about it. It is a series of supernatural horror movies. I'm gonna say they're all supernatural horror. Only one of them on Wikipedia anyway gave the genre. So the other ones just say horror, which I feel like they're all supernatural horror to me. I mean, because as far as we know, werewolves don't really exist. But yeah, it's about werewolves. So I'm gonna give a spoiler alert. I'm gonna spoil everything. Pretty much, because some of the things I talk about are the endings. So, it's here. They've been out so that was in 2001. So the first one came out May 11, 2001. So that's what? 21? Let me double check my math, y'all. I should know this. That sounds like 21 years. Where is my calculator on here? I know I should have a calculator on my iPad. Okay, utilities. Oh, maybe I don't have a calculator. That is so weird. I'm going to search it. You have to get the calculator app? Oh my goodness. Apple. But according to my math, it's 2022, 21 plus, 2001, 1 plus 21. Yeah, so that'd be 21 years. Sounds like such a long time. I feel like the 90s are 20 years away, but it's actually like 30 years ago. And I feel like that's just crazy to me. Yeah, that's 21 years. I had to Google it because I don't trust my own math. That sounds so crazy to me. That's 2 decades ago. That's kind of crazy to me. It keeps going back to the wrong app. Note when I go back to the notes. Okay. So the first one was directed by John Fawcett. I hope I said his name right. Like I said, in May 11th, 2001, it came out. So I gave a... Why does it feel like this is not the right synopsis? I feel like this is not the right synopsis that I had. I thought I had two different synopses. Anyway, I thought I had two different ones. Go. Hold on, y'all. Let me text somebody. I hate it when I'm in the middle of something, somebody calls me out of nowhere. You gotta make a schedule, you know? You gotta make an appointment before you call, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I definitely thought I had another synopsis for this, the first movie. But basically, the synopsis is the film focuses on two teenage sisters who have a fascination with death. But I definitely saw I had the IMDb version, or was that for the second movie? Let me check. Nope. Yeah, I don't know what I did with it, but I definitely had two. But I'm gonna read the IMDb. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. Yeah, I definitely had the other one. But here we go. Two death-obsessed sisters outcast in their suburban neighborhood must deal with the tragic consequences when one of them is bitten by a deadly werewolf. So, even though I'm going to spoil everything, I just felt like that was a more detailed synopsis. Okay, the cast is... so the main characters are Bridget Fitzgerald and Ginger Fitzgerald. Bridget Fitzgerald is played by Emily Perkins. Ginger Fitzgerald is played by Catherine Isabel. And then the mom is Pamela Fitzgerald, played by Mimi Rogers. And then there's a character named Sam that helps them out. And he's played by Chris Lemiche. I feel like I'm saying these names wrong. Lemiche. I'm just butchering everybody's name. Here we go. So my pros and my cons, and I'm going to give my overall opinion, okay? So, the story, I love that this werewolf transformation was used as a metaphor for puberty. Spoiler alert, I've already said that. I think that I do wish the ending was different, but I do understand why it was the way it was. The story is very realistic despite, the werewolf part, LOL. And I felt like the characters did things that made sense for them to do, like in that universe. As absurd as that premise, is. And, I felt like they did stuff that made sense. It was a good mix of suspense, dark humor, and it progressed very well to me. The ending was so suspenseful, intense. sorry about my voice and me clearing my throat, and I'm gonna hopefully not have to blow my nose during this video. I was on the edge of my seat, honestly. I had no idea how it would end, and it made the stakes so high in the final act for me. Another pro was the characters. All the actors, I have a typo, did a great job to me portraying their characters besides some cliche side characters, the prep girl or the jock guy or, something like that. However, overall, I really love how Ginger acted, and she was really believable, and I also loved how Bridget acted as well. They worked well together. The mom, Pamela, also was a neat character who just wanted to connect with her daughters and help them out any way that she could, so I really loved her character as well. So I'm kind of going to spoil the ending. Which, I already said that. I keep saying spoiler alert. But anyway, the mom character is like, she's a ride or die. She says, I don't know what's going on with y'all. Whatever you got going on. There's some things that happen, or there's something that happens that's not good. Basically, so, there's a werewolf going around, and it bites Ginger, basically. And so it also eats dogs for some reason. I don't know why. But one of the preppy girls is mad because she thinks Ginger or Bridget killed her dog or kidnapped her dog or something. And so she comes in the house and they end up fighting, but then the preppy girl ends up falling and hitting her head. And so the mom finds the body because they hide it in the greenhouse or the garden house of their house for some reason. I don't know why they do that. And then the mom's like, we could just blow up the house and run away. And I'm like, she said, we don't tell your dad nothing. He doesn't understand anything. He's just going to blame me, which I feel like dads do that. Even though they don't even know, some of them don't even know their kids' birthdays or their middle names. But then they want to blame the mom for everything. I'm like, okay, so. But yeah, she was ready. She was ready to ride or die for her kids. Okay. The music, I think the music for this movie really made sense and set the different moods, and it was edgy and suspenseful and fun where it needed to be. Because my AC is on, I will be playing Ginger's theme in the background as long as I have enough space on my phone. I think I will have enough space. But yeah. So then you can hear a little music while this video is playing from the movie. Okay, the settings are another pro. I loved all of the places where the story took place, even the girls' main house. I really loved it because it juxtaposed their bedrooms. They have I guess they live in a guest house because they have their own little house part, and there's 2 beds in there, and they have their own bathroom. It's really interesting. I also love that Sam, the drug dealer guy, Sam's a drug dealer. He lived in a greenhouse with his weed. I thought that was fun. LOL. And I already said this. I already loved the girls' room and how close they were, even to share a bedroom as teenagers. So my cons, we're going to get into the ending. Honestly, I get just Mage is a horror movie, but of course I wanted to have Ginger saved and have the curse reversed somehow. Because they get the monk suit if they find out that might be a cure for, for turning into werewolf. So basically it'll reverse the effects. That's what they think. But I did say, I guess her dying maybe is a metaphor for how siblings can grow apart as one changes, which I think is a great message. It's interesting. Oh, special effects. I have so many typos. Okay, special effects. I mean, it was made in the early 2000s. It definitely looks like it. LOL. The werewolf looks so terrible. But I know that things weren't as advanced as they are now. But yeah, just a warning. It does look cheap. So, my overall opinion of the first movie. I really enjoyed it. I love how it showed how Ginger changed before the werewolf transformation, and the actress that played her did a great job. What was her name again? Catherine Isabel did a great job. I never remember any actors or actresses' names. The actress that played Beatrice, not Beatrice. What is anybody's name? Bridget. So, who played Bridget? Emily Perkins played Bridget. They actually played Bridget. Also did a great job to me. Besides some cliche characters and cliches in general, it was a great and unique story. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I would highly recommend watching this first one at least. As of writing this, I haven't watched the other two, and I hope they don't disappoint. But as you can tell now, I've watched all three. So, the second movie is called Ginger Snaps 2 Unleashed. So, it was made January 30th, 2004. It was directed by Brent Sullivan this time. So the synopsis is: bereaved Bridget relies on a drug to keep her lycanthropy, which is like werewolf transformation, basically, at bay. Mistaken for an addict, she is forced into a rehab clinic for teen girls. Once there, she must go to extremes to guarantee her supply continues. Making this situation even more grave is the fact that another werewolf is on her trail. So once again, Emily Perkins as Bridget is there. There's this other girl called Ghost. They call her the Ghost. I don't know why they call her the Ghost. It's Tatiana Maslany. She was good. Eric Johnson as Tyler. He's one of the people who work at the rehab facility. He's really gross. He basically wants like sexual favors for stuff. Gross. Jane Kidder, I can't read, as Alice Silverson. Basically, Alice is in charge of the rehab center. And then, of course, Catherine Isabel again as Ginger Fitzgerald, but she's a ghost because she's dead. Because the first movie, Bridget has a knife, and basically, she wasn't trying to kill her, but, Ginger, when she's already a werewolf at this point, and she tries to attack Bridget, and then she impales herself with a knife. So, that's how she dies. Okay. So the pros, I love this story once again. It's a lot more grittier and action filled. And once again, I was on the edge of my seat to see what would happen next. And I enjoyed that it wasn't exactly the same as the first one. So it just wasn't like a shot by shot remake, but just a different story, you know what I mean? I was really engaged with the story every minute of the movie. I really was. It was intense. I guess depending on the person, the mood switch could be weird to some people. But I liked it. The characters, I love that Ginger came back as a ghost and was telling her sister about her experiences as a werewolf. So they find out from Ginger visiting her that the monk suit concoction that they made, the liquid in it, you can, shoot it up, that it doesn't actually stop the transformation. It like slows it down. Which I feel like that kind of sucks. You know what I mean? It's just happening no matter what. Might as well just let it happen. So yeah, that's what they learn. And then there's this little girl named Ghost. Her grandma is also there in the rehab center because they said they don't get a lot of funding for the rehab center, so they also have to take regular patients. So her grandma Barbara is like a burn patient that they have there. And so Ghost is there, and she like reads to her. She pretends to read to her like nice stories, but she's really reading comic books, And yeah, apparently, and I will say, of course, a lot of spoilers. Ghost. But I really love the dynamic between Ghost and Bridget because they kind of act like sisters. It's kind of cute. It's not kind of cute. It's really cute to me. But they're helping each other out. And I love that Ghost is not what she appears towards the end. And I figured something was up because the grandma kept trying to hit the nurse button, the little button you get for help. So yeah, the nurse didn't, the grandma didn't really seem like she liked Ghost, and like she seemed like she wanted to get help. But Ghost would always move the bed before she could like hit the button and stuff. So you find out, I'm going to talk about that in the end. You find out Ghost is, she kind of evil, you know what I mean? But yeah. But basically, let me talk about that. She's evil. She burned the grandma. She lies and says, oh, the grandma fell asleep with her cigarette, but she didn't really, because she has a sign in her house that says he does not like cigarettes. But yeah, I I always get these confused. I'm not sure if she's a sociopath or a psychopath, but she might be both. So, and then she lies about the guy Tyler, even though he's gross enough, but she lies and says that he assaulted her and he didn't really. She a little evil girl. Okay. But, you know, she needs a lot of therapy. That's what I just want to say. And I think the twist was great, like learning all that about her. And I love Bridget's growth and her knowledge about trying to slow down her transformation. And once again, the actress who plays her, Emily Perkins, does a great job. The music once again really fits this movie, especially the last song called Beautiful by Joy Drop. It really fit the ending. And I think all the music and the sound effects really made the tension at an all-time high. Made the tension at all-time high. I said at times. I guess it made the tension high whenever it needed to be. There we go. The settings, even though I prefer the settings of the first movie, I still love the settings still made the movie and set the atmosphere. The hospital was so creepy and it was old looking. And the rehab setting made a lot of sense as far as the obstacle for Bridget's transformation. I also love the warm feeling of the grandma's house too, like once they fixed it up and everything. I think the gas station was a good setting too, very creepy and claustrophobic. So my cons. The ending, again. It was a bit of a letdown. I thought Ghost would just burn the house down, honestly. But she ended up keeping Bridget as a pet, LOL, so she just locks her in the basement. So they make a plan to like kill the other werewolf. So there's another werewolf on the loose that wants to mate with Bridget, I guess, to make another werewolf baby. They don't really explain, you know, what that would do. But basically, yeah, that's what he's trying to do. And so they end up trapping him in the basement, and like they have a bunch of spiky stuff, and they end up killing him. And then Alice comes back, and you know they're all like kind of fighting the werewolf. And then, oh, another thing, Ghost ends up killing Alice, of course, because she's a little evil girl. And which I'm like, nobody came and looked for any of these people, not Tyler, not Alice, nobody. Which I'm also going to talk about in a second. She is very delusional. She loves comic books. She loves like making her own characters, and she has this delusion that like her and Bridget are gonna go and like they're like sisters, and they're gonna go and like hunt down people, even though she has locked Bridget in the basement and has not let her out. But I feel like she would realize that that wouldn't work out, but I guess not. Also, when Alice came to get them, oh, I already talked about this. I just talked about this. Nobody came to look for her. No one at all. But she did go in like the middle of the night, which I didn't really feel like made any sense. If you're gonna go, I mean, the rehab center in general was kind of sketchy. So I don't know how legit it was. So, but I guess she did not tell anyone where she was going before she left. Because I feel like in the scene, if I remember correctly, it was kind of like the middle of the night. And Alice just popped up, like, you know. But yeah, nobody came to look for her. And then the grandma comes back home. And I'm very confused because Ghost was supposed to be at the hospital with her, technically. So nobody was like, where's Ghost? We're just going to leave the grandma at the house with Ghost, even though Ghost was supposed to be at the hospital. So yeah. So there was a few loose ends. But I guess it wasn't predictable, so. The special effects once again. So I feel like these were better than the first one. But you know, of course not as good as today's effects. So not horrible, but not the best. I really enjoyed this movie so much. The tone was a bit harsher than the first one, but I still enjoyed the gritty tone. I love that this movie didn't just follow the same formula as the first one. I really loved the character dynamics and the storytelling of this movie. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. There's a lot of twists and turns. Once again, 8 out of 10. It lived up to the first one, in my opinion, and made its own impact. So I like that. Okay, so the third and final installment was Ginger Snaps Back, the beginning. Sorry. So it was released July 10th, 2004. So these were made like back to back, and this one was made direct to DVD. So direct to video. Okay, here's the synopsis. Oh, it was directed by Grant Harvey. So they were all directed by different people. In the early 19th century Canada, orphan sisters Ginger and Bridget found themselves in a lost in a forest while riding on horseback. They're rescued by the hunter, played by Nathaniel Arcand, a mysterious Native American who takes them back to Fort Bailey. Something strange has happened there, however. The few settlers who remain are suspicious of outsiders and keep tight-lipped about the situation, but Ginger soon discovers their secret herself. So I just made the cast the same cast as the first movie. So, Catherine Isabel and Emily Perkins as Ginger and Bridget, respectively. I didn't put anybody else, but there are other people in this movie. But the pros, sorry, y'all. The story, once again, it's very interesting. I'm not usually into period movies, but this one was very compelling and always intense. It has me at the edge of my seat, once again. I hated the priest guy. I don't remember what his name was, but there's a priest guy in the movie. You'll know who I'm talking about if you watch the movie. The person that acted him did a great job because I cannot wait until he was dead. LOL. The sister dynamic was once again very great. The Native American characters did seem kind of cliche to me, but their actors did a great job as well. I thought the whole story premise set in the 19th century was really unique. They had like a witch kind of theme with the priest, because they were all men, and then when these women came in, he was like, "Oh, you're gonna make us sit and do." So that was kind of an interesting twist on there. Characters, everyone in this film did a great job, as a character, especially Bridget and Ginger and Bridget actresses like they did in the other two movies. I like that every character has stakes throughout the movie on what they can lose. And I think everyone acted as realistically as they would have acted if they would have in real life if this were to happen. The setting, I really love the setting. So the setting was the fort. So it's like a wooden fort kind of thing. The woods and then the cave. They all made for very creepy settings. So the cave had it was like a seer, so it's like a wise woman for Native American folklore, I guess. She can see the future, I guess. And I thought when the fort was being attacked by the werewolves, it made it feel like the characters were trapped inside. It felt like kind of like when you watch like a haunted house, like that kind of trapped vibes. And so Wallace was the guy in command, and basically he decided at the end of the movie he got bit. So his son was a werewolf, but he didn't tell anyone. He just told everyone that the kid was dead, and the kid was just locked in a room, and then Ginger opens the room and gets bit. So, of course, it's always Ginger. So he just decides, I'm just gonna burn it all down, which I feel like makes sense. And then he, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but he unalives himself with a gun. You can guess what that means. I felt like there weren't many other options. I mean, like, what was he gonna do after he get bit? He's just gonna turn into a werewolf. So, yeah. The ending, I actually like this ending. Because it shows the sisters are going to stay together no matter what. And I like that they got to be together with this ending, even though the vision wasn't fulfilled. I didn't mind this ending. So one of the hunter, the Native American guy, and the seer were in a cave, and they gave Bridget this like concoction so she could see the future, and she sees herself killing her sister, but instead she ends up killing the hunter. Um, and then she goes to be with her sister, so he had cut her hand already and put like some of her blood around her face. I guess part of the ceremony, for her seeing the future, you know. And so she puts her hand to Ginger's hand. I guess Ginger also has a cut, so she infects herself basically. Which she does that in the first movie, but then Ginger dies. So, but this time they get to be together. Which I mean, I guess I would rather be with my sister as a werewolf versus like without her and still becoming a werewolf. So, but basically, in the first movie, she does it because she thinks that Ginger will like calm down and be like, "Hey, we're sisters," and then of course it's like the transformation is like already happening, so it's kind of like too late. So yeah, the con once again, the special effects. I know this was made in the early 2000s. I kind of feel like it would be less is more. Because these werewolves, like, I'm trying to think, did we see any super full-bodied ones in the other two? But these ones, you see multiple full-body ones, and they look, I mean, I wouldn't mess with them. Okay, I'm just going to say that. But they do look weird. But I feel like it would have been interesting to do a less is more strategy. I feel like that would have been scarier. But that's just me. So, like I said, period movie's not my favorite. I still thought this movie was great. It's like a great prequel / ending to this trilogy. I think it was full of mystery and action. I love that all the movies in this trilogy were all different, and I found them all unique and fun. And I'm going to give this final movie, once again, an 8 out of 10. Who could have guessed? I feel like they all deserve 8 out of 10. I really love the story and the concept, and really liked the ending of this movie. So, yeah. So, that's my thoughts on that. And so, I was thinking, I feel like I'm going to make this into a bigger story, but I was like, it would be cute if we had like a black gothic version, or our own black gothic girls that we can look up to. Like, people love this movie Ginger Snaps, and it's been a cult classic, you know what I mean? So, this is just like one part of the story. I haven't written the rest, but I think I'm going to make like this whole universe of maybe they have like a black goth mom, because I saw this black goth mom on TikTok, and it's just so cute, because it's like, could you imagine your mom being a goth? And you're black, and it's not like weird, and your parents don't think you're like demonic. That would be so freeing. So yeah, so I wrote a little story. It's supposed to be like a note. It's called Class Note. So I'm gonna read it. Hi, BB. So I wrote it so like one is like here, and then one is like there on the page. So it looks like you're writing on different fonts, but I couldn't do different fonts on my note. My notes app. So here we go. Hi, BB. Hi, Bobby. What do you think of this class? It reeks, LOL. I think that too. We should skip our next class. I'm down for it, BB. Can we get food? We can do whatever you want. I'll drive. You'll get me whatever I want? Of course, Bobby. That's what sisters are for. What if I become a werewolf, like those movies you watched? I'll become one with you. Oh, yeah? Of course, together, forever and ever, until death do us part. Even in the afterlife, we'll be as one. After this class, we'll fuck off the rest of the day. Thanks, I feel like shit. Your period? It is the joys of growing up, LOL. Psh, some joys. We'll have so much fun you'll forget about your pain. BB, you're the best. No, you're the bestest, Bobby. I love you. To infinity and beyond. Isn't that cute? So that's what I got so far. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make them twins or make one of them older and one of them younger. I think, yeah, in the movie, one of them is like 15, one's 16. So I feel like that'd be cute. Have like a close age gap, you know what I mean? But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this review, even though I'm stuffy now. Once I get off camera, I'm going to blow my nose as hard as I can. And I will see you all next week. I'm going to, hopefully, I will be seeing the, I'm looking for my button so when I close the video. Okay. Hopefully next week I will see Nope. And then I will review Nope. I'm so excited to see that movie. I love the promotion. They have shown absolutely almost nothing. And I love it because it leaves the mystery. So yeah. All right. So I'll see you all next week.